It's a beautiful day for a budget film. Beautiful day for a sloppy film. Is there an Oscar? No, there's not. Will it be good? Will it be crap? Always a Russian roulette. Is there an Oscar? No, there is not. I've always wanted to have a director just like you. Well, not really. I lied. You made Sharktopus 2. So let's make the most and hope it's not a bore. Like your beauty, the unreleased Fantastic Four. Is there an Oscar? No, there's not. Won't you watch his movies? Won't you watch? Won't you watch? Please, won't you watch his movies? Directors are people who bring whimsy to us, with movies that leave tales on our hearts. I like to think that Roger is certainly one of them.
Welcome, children, to another episode of Mr. Corman's Neighborhood. My name is Bri.
And my name is Gio. And yes, welcome to the first, technically third ever episode of this brand new series.
Okay, well, we should probably explain a little bit more. Gio and I came to the conclusion as we were going through movies, and then just like the odd Kevin Bacon effect of Roger Corman on this show, and him basically being a reoccurring character, if you will, on the show, we figured our good friend Roger deserves his own special title sequence and everything for whenever it's a Roger episode, because he's earned it.
Yes, our dear, beloved friend of the show. I mean, this is what, episode like 16? This is already
it's 15, and it's like our third like Roger Corman episode. So statistically, like a fifth of our series has been about Roger Corman.
It's like we haven't even done it like on purpose. Like when I first said, "Oh, we should do Sharktopus for this," I didn't even realize until I started doing my research. Oh, this was Corman again. Oh boy!
And then
this one, okay.
And then our last episode, it wasn't Roger directly, but Gio, tell us your amazing discovery.
Oh, God. Well, okay, so this would actually be like 2 episodes ago now, but yeah. So you guys remember the apple? Because I unfortunately do. And you remember that maniac of maniacs, director Menahem Golan? I discovered a very interesting factoid about our good buddy Golan. Apparently, before he really got into directing work, he worked as an assistant to Roger Corman. Yes.
He's everywhere. He's basically God.
I
or
shit
Santa.
you not. I shit you not. The man behind DeLorean Jesus and the most annoying dance numbers you can think of learned his trade from Roger Corman.
He told me that. Like, we kept finding more and more. Like, the apple rabbit hole is just so real.
I am so bummed that I did not come across that before we did that episode. It's like afterwards, and I was just looking up more about the movie. I'm like, wait, he worked for who? Oh, Roger. So we should probably get into like what today's fare is. So I was looking up a few ideas for a new movie to do, and those recent images just came out of Guillermo del Toro's new Frankenstein movie. God, I hope that turns out to be good. But I got the thought of, the man monster has had his share of cinematic adventures over the decades. Some good, some really, really not so good. And I was trying to look up one that would maybe tickle the old fancy. Like, when I just looked up worst Frankenstein movies, the common consensus was that 2014's I, Frankenstein. But I thought, nah, too easy. And then when I started looking up the list, I saw our dear sweet friend Roger's name, and I knew what had to be done. So, ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you 1990's Frankenstein Unbound, which, hey, fun fact, even though this is our third Roger Corman episode, this is actually the first of his movies that we've done where he was the director. And ironically enough, this movie would also be the last time he would ever direct a movie.
Yeah, and it'd be the first. You know what the thing about this that is like super funny to me, and I totally forgot about this because I'm a bad film person. I've never watched Silence of the Lambs from start to finish, but Roger's the FBI director in that movie, so this is like a year before this, and just the juxtaposition, of which we'll get into this little fun trivia fact about how many people saw this movie later, but going from that to, oh, Best Picture winner like a year later is nutso.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, oh, God. I put Sharktopus out of my memory by now, so I forget like who the main actor in that movie was, but I just remember he was in that movie the same year that he was also in The Expendables.
Oh,
which
Roberts.
Yeah, Roberts. But anywhoozy. So let's get into the nitty-gritty about this movie. So, while this was the last movie he would ever direct, this was actually his first directorial work in almost 2 decades. The last time he sat in the director's chair was 1971 for a war movie called, I am so sorry if I get this wrong, Von Richthofen and Brown, or The Red Baron, a semi-biographical movie about the World War I fighter pilot, which, from what I've read, is not even close to historically accurate. Might have to put a bookmark on that one for later. But anywhoozy, by this point, Roger had been mainly just producing and writing movies until Tom Mount, the former president of Universal Pictures, came to Corman and convinced him to return to the director's chair with a sweet, saucy payment of $1 million.
Ha! Thanks for doing that. I appreciate that.
What was I going to do? Not do that?
True, valid.
But so Corman got to work with the idea of it being a Frankenstein movie. And he started looking at a few writers to try to get the script written, even considering Wes Craven at one point. But the man that he eventually landed on was a film and book critic by the name of F.X. Feeney, who, fun fact, actually worked as an inker at Hanna-Barbera during the late 70s. So not only is this a Roger Corman episode, but somehow this also ties back to Hanna-Barbera. Which means,
motherfuckers!
Hey, boo-boo! You thought I was dead? You thought I had been turned into protoplasm and disappeared into the ether? No way, buddy. I'm immortal. I feel like I
love how both Boo Boo and Yogi have become reoccurring characters on our show.
Like it feels purely just because I feel like I do a good Yogi impression. I mean, last time it was necessary because bears, but I mean, at any time I could break out the old vocals. So a few other factoids about this movie is that even though Roger was the undisputed king of low budget schlock, this film actually had a pretty decent budget. $11.5 million.
Yeah, which for horror is still like really good. Like, especially around that time too, because this was a couple years before Blair Witch came out, and then that kind of started the trend of like micro budget horror films.
Yeah, so, and especially by Corman standards, that is a lot of money, most of which I would imagine was probably spent on the cast, which, we're going to get to the cast in a minute because there are some names. But before we go any further, I should point out that this movie is actually based on a book, and no, smarties, not just Frankenstein. It is actually based on a 1973 novel, also called Frankenstein Unbound, by sci-fi author Brian Aldiss, which something else involving Aldous again a little later. Oh boy. So, from what I can gather, this movie is part Frankenstein adaptation, part Mary Shelley biography because she also appears in this, but also there's time travel?
Oh, so this might be one of our special features.
Special with a capital S, I'm guessing.
No, it's a lowercase s and a capital E.
Yeah. It's this one might be a bizarre beast. But like I was saying, this movie, for a Corman production has some big names attached to it. The lead is played by Sir John Hurt. Yeah. Mary Shelley is played by Bridget Fonda. And this is the one that convinced me we gotta do this.
When you told me this, I was like, yes, I'm 1,000% sold. Just give it to me now.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Frankenstein in this movie is played by the man, the myth, the legend, Raul Julia.
Of course!
Yes. And if the sentence Raul Julia as Dr. Frankenstein doesn't immediately put you in a state of ecstasy, you need to see a doctor.
Because you are clearly unwell. Holy crap, Raul Julia. Mr. Gomez Adams and M. Bison himself. Oh boy.
I am expecting the most delightful dish of ham and cheese possible. But you would think with a bigger budget and a bigger cast that, this would be a shoo-in to be successful, right? Well, according to that 50% score on Rotten Tomatoes, which again, you shouldn't rely on Rotten Tomatoes completely. Watch movies yourself and judge. But it's safe to say that opinion on this is a bit split. What is not in question, though, is how exactly this movie fared at the box office. Oh dear. So let me just put it to you this way. Remember Brian Aldiss, the author of the book? Well, he went to his local theater in Leicester to see his showing of the movie, and there was a grand total of 6 other people in the theater.
Woof.
Yeah. Against a budget of $11.5 million, this movie only made $335,000.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Even still, this is obviously a massive bomb. I'm not sure quite where it ranks in all-time bombs. That might be research for another future episode. And this was probably the movie that bound our friendship together, Oogie Loves. So that might be one for the future. But anyway, yeah. For a film that had so much promise, a decent budget, you would think with that cast that they would have at least made their budget back. But no.
They didn't even make back half of what they paid Corman to direct this. And I would imagine this movie bombing so hard probably contributed to him never directing anything ever again and just working in producer and writer roles from then on. And also cameo roles as dirty old men, but neither here nor there.
But yeah, I am kind of curious how this compares to other Frankenstein things. And also, the First Lady of Horror herself, Mary Shelley, being a character. This movie will either be mediocre, or it will be the most batshit insane thing that just makes me smile. There is literally no in between.
Yeah, there's only 2 possible options for this. Either so bad it's good or so bad it's, which I hope to God it's not the latter, because there is nothing a bad movie could be less than boring.
But yeah, let's spark some life into this, shall we? So Gio and I are going to become alive and watch the movie. Yes, I make dad jokes, sue me. We'll play a little trailer, blip bloop. And when we come back, we will give you our thoughts.
Woo!
30 years ago, Roger Corman began to explore the dark side of the American psyche. With movies like The Undead, The Pit and the Pendulum, and the original Little Shop of Horrors. Now, he feels the world is ready for the greatest horror story ever told, as it's never been told before. Frankenstein Unbound, starring John Hurt, Raul Julia, and Bridget Fonda, directed by Roger Corman.
Polyamory is funamory.
God fucking damn it.
Oh, we were talking about this off camera, but low-key, I'm like, this is just fucking Riverdale. And I mean the ending of Riverdale. Because literally this whole movie was just a bunch of AO3 tags. In like a fun way, but also a really bad way.
Oh boy. This one was, well, to quote the movie itself, an abomination in the eyes of God. There's layers to this one. There's some layers to this.
In more ways than one. Which, by the way, I'm trying to figure out if we should address this now or later. But when we were watching the credits, I saw, Catherine Corman. I wonder. And yes, Catherine Corman is indeed our good buddy Roger's little girl. And she plays a very interesting role in this movie.
Yeah, we'll get to that. So, God, you have to try to wade through the plot of this movie. Oh, my God.
I will say, before we go in the plot, one thing that this movie isn't is it doesn't look cheap. Like, I think the production value of this movie is actually, like, really well done.
Yeah, like, the costuming is good, the visuals are nicely done, the score is pretty good. Where this movie really falls apart is the narrative, because, oh boy, does this thing go places. So, our hero for the day, Mr. Sir Jonathan Hertz, Dr. Buchanan, is a doctor from the future. The suddenly not so distant future of 2031 in New Los Angeles, which, by the way, I'm just going to say, I am a gigantic fanboy of Xenoblade Chronicles. So the moment I heard New Los Angeles, which, if y'all don't know, is the city where Xenoblade Cross takes place, I damn near fell out of my seat. Especially because, like, a rift opens up at one point and it's really purple, like the ghosts. So I was like, is this fucking canon to Xenoblade Cross? Is that what we're doing now? But anyway, Dr. Buchanan is doing some time rift shenanigans in the future. He goes for a drive in his, like, souped up automobile, and I forget how, but somehow ends up in the past, in the 19th or 18th century. I forget.
Oh, I guess the book would take place in, like, the 18th century, possibly the early 19th century. I mean, to me, based on the clothing, this is probably, like, the late 1700s.
Yeah, so he goes to the past, and boy, oh boy, right off the bat is this guy breaking every rule of time travel.
Not only breaking them, just smashing the goddamn door down.
Oh my God. Every movie that you have ever seen that deals with time travel talks about the repercussions of you going back to the past and, like, altering things by accident. Like, they talk about how even, like, stepping on a bug could have, like, dire consequences. This dude, this scientist, mind you, just looks at that and gives it a big old middle finger, because he is just out there showing all these people his cool gadgets, his electronic watch, his fucking souped up car. And as we see later, just straight up tells people, oh, I'm from the future. Here's what you end up doing, which I'm sure isn't going to have any dire consequences.
No, none at all.
But he's wandering around. He goes to this pub or whatever, and he meets Dr. Frankenstein, played by Raul Julia, which I gotta say, I was expecting a little more ham.
Yeah, it's low-key same.
He plays this so straight, so dour and serious. Like, it isn't until, like, closer to the end where we start seeing, like, the over-the-top Julia start to come through.
And she will have new life. No one can create a soul.
The soul?
I think now we're finally getting the Raul Julia we were expecting.
Oh, yeah. Now we're gonna go 310 the crazy town.
We must have more power or she will die. There's nothing more that I can do.
It's like he's spent most of this movie like so like dour and serious, but now I think fun Julia is finally coming out.
So wait, is he gonna be in a throuple between Elizabeth and his monster? There he is.
But like I was expecting a lot more ham and cheese from this. So Buchanan, John Hurt, whatever, he finds out he has like 4 days until his car can like figure out how to get back and travel in time again. So in the meantime, he decides to preoccupy himself not by laying low, but by fucking with as much as he possibly could. In some cases, literally. So he goes to the trial of poor young Justine, accused of murdering Dr. Frankenstein's little brother, I think?
Yeah, which is something that happens in the book. So, like, the other weird thing that this movie does is it, like, follows the continuity of the book, but doesn't and, like, reimagines scenes slightly.
And then decides to throw another big old wrench into this with the introduction of Mary Shelley. Yes, the author of the book, somehow alive simultaneously as the book she is writing. Trust me, I watched the movie, folks. I still don't know how that works. Like, she exists, she's a real person, but apparently so are Frankenstein and his monster. I'm just like, there are so many points that have me scratching my head. Like, how does this work? Like, how would she know this? Like, apparently all the stuff with Frankenstein and the monster is true, but like, how would she know about it?
Yeah, there's a lot of weird, like, logic things. Like, nothing that, at least for me personally, just made me go, like, what the fuck? Like, I was angry. But more in the way of, wow, this really wasn't clear and just kind of confusing, to be honest.
Yeah, so we go on with this trial, and poor little Justine's found guilty of like witchcraft and murder, and she's sentenced to be hanged the next day. And this is the part where we mention that Justine is played by Catherine Corman, the then 14-year-old daughter of Roger. Roger had his 14-year-old daughter play a character who gets publicly hanged with a noose. What the fuck is wrong with you, dude?
Yeah, seriously, like, for real, like, what the fuck, man?
Oh, but trust me, we are not even done, like, questioning what passed through the mind of Roger Corman as he was making this. So it is clear from the get-go that Dr. Buchanan has a real big interest in Mary Shelley, who, by the way, should bring up, since she is just in the process of starting to write the book, she should only be around 18, 19.
If we're being generous.
Yeah, there's every possibility that she could actually just be a minor in this. But he is like so weirdly interested in her. So like Dr. Frankenstein was at the trial too, and Buchanan follows him into the forest where we meet the monster. And low key though, I like the design of the monster in this. I like that they didn't just go with like the universal design of like, you know, the green skin, block-headed version.
Like, oddly enough, this is like a pretty book accurate Frankenstein's monster.
Yeah, like this actually looks like a stitched together corpse. Like you could even see when they zoom into his eyes, like even like his eyeballs have been stitched together, which yeah, I thought the design of the monster was pretty good. But anyways, like for whatever reason, Buchanan has like this vested interest in getting Justine let off the hook. Like he is like really, really trying to save her life, which again, space-time continuum, fuck that. So like he tries to convince Victor to stop it. So like Victor like writes a letter to like give to like his fiance Elizabeth. Like Buchanan goes and does that, finds out it's not a letter to like free Justine. So he's like, all right, fuck it, we ball. I'll do it myself. So first he decides to go and meet Mary Shelley. Her husband, what was it, Percy or Perry? I forget what her husband's name was, but goes to meet the two of them and Lord Byron. And it becomes very clear from this that we are in thruple territory because,
Oh my god. Yeah, we have to talk about this. And low-key, this might be the majority of this episode because, oh my god.
Yeah.
Because this isn't just like a short part of this movie, like generously, this is like close to a third of the movie.
Yeah, the bulk of this movie is focusing on whatever the fuck this relationship is. So Mary, her hubby, and Lord Byron are all just shacked up together. Both guys are openly giving her the eyes, and like they make it very clear, like it is obvious that these two dudes are probably fucking each other when the cameras are off. Like, they are not subtle about this at all.
No, like those, because I said this in our commentary, those are two very, very bisexual men.
Very, very clearly.
Well, what brings all the way to our little paradise, Doctor?
Wait, are they like a throuple?
Drawn to Mary's flame.
Ready for the hanging.
Or a man, sir.
You know how it is, Percy. Sex and death.
There she is. My love.
Mary.
Oh my god, they are a throuple.
Oh my god.
This is a fanfic. I'm in love. This is like every tag on AO3.
Like, we're not even talking about the fact that they just exist in the world of the book. Like,
So I guess in the context of this, Frankenstein is like a biography? Or like a true crime thing? Like, does Mary Shelley have a podcast? Like, what is happening?
so Buchanan tries to, like, convince Mary to, like, help him because she doesn't believe that Justine is guilty either. And then, like, spills the bean, like, I read your book. And she's like, how? I've only written a couple of chapters. It's like, dude, will you stop talking about this stuff? Like, he is so, like, brazen about this. Like, I didn't even mention the fact that he was, like, openly, like, he just went and sat down next to her in the middle of the trial.
Yeah, he was hitting on her at a murder trial. What the fuck?
Yeah, a 14-year-old girl. I'd imagine the character's the same age as Catherine was, but like this teenage girl is being put on trial for murder. And at one point, he just leans over to Mary Shelley and is like, this would make good book material, wouldn't it? Like, dude.
Yeah, which, by the way, this is the murder of a 6-year-old boy, too.
Yeah, he is not taking this shit seriously at all. Well, you know, until like after the trial is over and all of a sudden he becomes obsessed with it. But yeah, he tries to convince them to help, but then he's just like, fine, fuck it, we ball, I'll do it myself. So he goes to the hanging, makes a big spectacle of himself.
And here's like the thing, too. He grabs the axe and he like elbows it. I'm like, dude, just cut the fucking rope. Because it'll take him a little while to reset it up. I'm like, you're a scientist. Like, wouldn't that be like the most basic thing to like not hurt people? Just cut the goddamn rope?
Yeah, this guy is not a good scientist. I will just say that point blank. Like, him just freely fucking with the space-time continuum aside, he is just does the stupidest shit. So, in most movies that deal with time travel, you'll get stuff like, oh, you know, we have to stay anonymous. We have to keep a low profile so we don't alter anything we shouldn't. He doesn't give a fuck. He just goes out in public, stands up, and is like, well, I'm freeing the girl, which of course doesn't work. He gets ganged up on, beat up, tossed in a lake.
She dies like she does in the novel. Spoiler alert for, you know, a book that's like 200 plus years old.
And again, we remind you that is Roger's daughter that gets hanged. So he gets tossed into a lake. And then this was a really weird part that I was very, very confused by. There are moments here where Buchanan just starts having these weird hallucinations where he sees like this like devil-like character. Like experimenting on him or like doing weird shit. And like, I forgot about this, but like near the beginning of the movie, like after he travels back in time, he like hallucinates like a bunch of dead bodies, and he's like, who is responsible for this? And then this like Palpatine looking dude is standing there, and he's like, who do you think? This shit is never explained, by the way.
I mean, I guess the implication is that's supposed to be the monster, and like that's supposed to be the flow of time, which is why it has like this honestly kind of cool, like in camera, like watery effect to kind of make the frame like it feels like, when you open your eyes underwater in a pool, it's kind of like that. I thought it was visually interesting. Visually aside, like this makes like no goddamn sense whatsoever, but my theory is, so this movie's runtime is about 85 minutes. Obviously, the initial cut of this movie was a lot longer, and then it got cut for time at some point, whether it was from the studio or for like whatever reason.
Yeah, there's a lot here that just does not get explained properly, like at all. So Mary saves him from the lake, and out of gratitude, or because he's a fanboy, Buchanan shows her his car, which, reminder, this is like the late 18th century where cars don't exist yet.
And the first cars won't be invented for another century.
So he just shows her his car, and then this was the part that really, really got to me. He prints out a full copy of Frankenstein.
Like, straight up Xeroxes that shit.
Just prints out a full copy of this book that, at this point in time, only has a few chapters written, and just gives it to her. Just being like, well, you finished your novel, here you go. Because even following that logic, he's fucking with way too much here.
Yeah, I know. Like, I'm surprised, like, he hasn't had witchcraft accusations thrown at him.
I've never even imagined anyone like you before.
Well, that's not surprising because I don't exist yet.
Oh my god,
I'm from the future.
Oh my god!
What the fuck?
That's absurd.
I know of your book because I've read it.
But that's impossible. I've only just started writing.
And you'll finish it. And you'll publish it. And you'll add a new word to every language on Earth. Frankenstein.
Dude, what is this? Can we pause for a sec? Just
Sure, hold on. Let me get to the tab.
Congratulations.
Okay.
What is this dude's fucking problem?
I don't know.
Like, oh my god. Dude just straight up printed the entire novel she hasn't written yet. And this dude is supposed to be a scientist. Does he not know what he is fucking with right now? And oh my god. No. Are they insinuating that this guy is actually responsible for her ideas on the novel?
Oh,
because
god.
that would be really fucked up of them to say that. And like, I am still trying to, like, why is the story of the book taking place in this same little world where he's like going on like a little date with, oh my, like the ramifications of this.
Space-time continuum? Who gives a shit? I got Mary Shelley in a car, and she's really fucking hot.
It's like, dude, she has just said, I've only just written the first couple of chapters. And then he just prints out the whole fucking thing.
You know what I'm just realizing now? Because they just said Mary Shelley wrote it when she was 19. Like, the probability that she's still a minor here, and what is this dude, like 40? Holy shit.
I was just getting to that. He is trying to put the moves on it. Oh my god.
Oh god. Dun, 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 dun.
I was about to do it. Say, Buchanan, I hear you like him young.
God damn it. And like,
he's going to have to go back in the thumbnail now, isn't he? Oh my god.
Be really funny. I have to see where this takes place. Like, just have like Kendrick, just have him hiding in the corner in Geneva or some shit.
I am just wow. So we've managed to concoct a little universe where Mary Shelley exists as a person in the story that she is writing, and also there's time travel where this guy has basically just inserted himself into everything
He is living his IRL self-insert fanfic.
while also saying fuck you to any like butterfly effect time travel consequences. Like, yeah, just show her like the finished version of the book she just started to write. Sure, that's not going to cause any problems while you're riding in your fucking car that shouldn't even exist for another 200 years. Yeah, I'm sure this isn't going to cause any issues. What kind of fucking scientist are you?
Emphasis on the word fuck, because he definitely wants to fuck Mary Shelley.
Oh my god. This is barely even Frankenstein at this point. I mean, we've only seen the monster, what, for like 5 minutes? If even that.
Yeah, 5 minutes is kind of generous.
Like this is not a Frankenstein movie. This is just a movie where a time travel guy wants to fuck Mary Shelley. That's literally it. Roger, are you okay, man?
I don't think so.
I know you hadn't directed a movie in like almost 2 decades by this point, but like, was something going on with you, bro?
Yeah, dude, you good? You good, bro?
Oh yeah. Also,
What? What'd you just realize?
I just realized we have like, I think like 38 minutes left of this movie.
Yeah, like nothing's happened.
It has literally just been this dude trying to bang Mary Shelley and then fucking around with a space-time continuum.
While reenacting certain scenes from Frankenstein.
I just cannot get over the fact that they're trying at the same time to be like biographical with Mary Shelley, but then at the same time also just having Dr. Frankenstein and the fucking monster running around.
Yeah, meanwhile, like, the relationship chart is like getting confusing. It's like we started as a throuple, and then we're getting like more complications.
Yeah, we're getting into fatal 4-way territory here.
God damn it. You know, it might be a 5-way, because you know what? At this point, just fuck the monster, too.
I mean, he did say he wanted a mate.
Yeah. Woof, woof.
But I love the fact that we are 47 minutes into this. We have seen the monster all but twice. Honestly, it feels like the monster isn't even like a big part of the story. Like, for a movie called Frankenstein, it's barely even been about the story of Frankenstein.
Well, I mean, technically, I think it's called, like, The Monster. But that's kind of a shame, because I kind of like this Frankenstein design.
Yeah, like, the monster design itself isn't bad, but it's like, we've barely even seen any of it.
Legit like a walking cadaver versus a zombie.
It just feels like window dressing on like what the actual plot is.
Yeah.
Also, this dude really doesn't seem to care about going back to the future, does he?
No, I don't think he does, because he's, that Mary Shelley pussy. Fixing my problems in modern society. Well, I know what I'm choosing.
I mean, he could have just laid low for 4 days while the car figured out how to travel back or whatever it said. But no, instead of laying low, he's just trying to get laid. Which I'm sure that won't have any consequences for the space-time.
No, none at all. Honestly, like, the idea of this plot, I feel like worked fine. Like, if he just subsequently gets dragged into the events of Frankenstein while laying low. But he's like, hell nah. I'm inserting myself into this situation.
Yeah, like if you want to go for like a Kingdom Hearts style thing where like the plot of the movie is like happening around you and you're just kind of sort of reacting to it, that would be okay. But here he's just like actively interfering with everything going on. Like he is making it his job to interfere with what's going on.
How do I end up in Shelley? Do we die young?
Do you really want to know that?
Stop the car.
He was about to freely tell her when she died, wasn't he?
Yep. Like, literally, he just, like, chat GPT'd that shit. Like, that was some bullshit. And I think they even mentioned AI. So, like, oddly enough, this movie's look at the future is horrifically slightly accurate, but that's beside the point. The other thing too, and we were kind of pointing this out, that I have to like compose myself a second because this is like so goddamn stupid. Okay. So, we're operating under the logic, okay, so Frankenstein the story is like a real historical event and this is happening like IRL. So, straight up, Mary Shelley's basically like a true crime podcast host because that's the only way that this possibly makes sense to me.
Yeah, like at one point she's like, so Frankenstein did make a monster. It was true. And it's like, how did you hear about that? Like, you would think that with all these weird happenings going on, that would be people's first inkling if there was a rumor going around that Frankenstein made a monster. It's like, why does nobody else bring this up? How did she find out about it? Like, none of that is explained.
Like, straight up, if they wanted to do that, they should have had, like, Mary Shelley's more this investigator type. And that she was, like, the female co-lead. Because, like, if they were gonna do, like, the weird thing... Oh, we didn't even get to the most fucked up part. And I mean fucked up in the most literal way, but we'll get to that in a sec. But... like, if they were gonna have these two be together through the majority of the runtime, why is she just not the co-lead?
Oh yeah, she only really shows up for Buchanan to ogle at her for a bit. Like, she has no agency outside of that. Then we get to the part where this just becomes a fanfic. Because they fuck.
And honestly, like, the sex scene is, like, kind of tame. Like, the fact that this got, like, I guess it's more for the gore, but the copy that we watched got, like, age restricted on YouTube. I'm like, oh my god, it's, like, so vanilla. But anyway, yeah, no. They straight up fuck. This guy who I'm assuming is in his early 40s is fucking, like, this 18-year-old girl. It's like, what is happening? Like, this is straight up a self-insert fanfic. Is this AO3? Did you find some of my tags? I'm not into that kind of shit personally, but did you go through my tags?
And again, going back, space-time continuum, like, what if he got this girl pregnant? Like, that would have had, like, dire consequences. But no, this dude just fucks Mary Shelley. Oh, but before they start doing the business, she says something along the lines of, oh, don't worry, Percy and Lord Byron believe in, like, free love.
Free love. Yeah. Oh boy, this is escalating quickly.
I'm sorry if I've said something to upset you, Joe.
Upset me? Mary, you amaze me.
Oh my god.
No.
Century, and yet you understand the future infinitely better than I do.
I wish I did.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, dude.
This is a fanfic. Oh my god. This is some fucking AO3 fanfic. Holy shit.
Oh my god. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no.
Percy and Byron preach free love.
It is a throuple.
It's the quad. Oh, god damn it.
Oh my god.
This is the short fuck. Which, by the way that Byron and Shelley look at each other, like, it's obvious. Because, I mean, you can interpret it that, they're talking about Mary, but the way that they look at each other, it's like, no way. Absolutely no way at all. Like, they are in, like, a poly-quad, they're in a throuple situationship, and honestly, like, I'm shocked it didn't become a poly-quad. Like, they were horny.
Yeah, no, you just know as soon as Mary left the house that day, they were like, all right, break out the chains and the whipped cream. Let's do some target practice.
God damn it.
But yeah, Doctor from the future just fucks the teenage author. It's, yeah.
He's living the dream of every incel.
And then it's after this where the movie shifts from self-insert fanfic to Back to the Future, basically, complete with using a car to power some electricity and like waiting for a lightning strike. Like it just becomes Back to the Future at the end. So after, all that, Buchanan goes back to Victor and he's like, Victor, you have to stop this. Let me show you your future. And then just spoils the ending of Frankenstein to the actual fucking doctor.
Well, it's just like, come on, bro.
It's like, this guy gives no shits about messing up space-time. The only time where he shows some kind of concern is when he's doing his little like joyride with Mary Shelley. I cannot believe I just said that. And she asks, do you know when I die? And he's like, do you really want me to tell you? That is the only time where he shows any concern that he might mess up something with space-time.
Yeah, because she specifically asked if she dies young, which Mary Shelley, like, she didn't die young. I think she lived to be 53, which, considering the time that she lived in, pretty decent life.
Yeah, all things considered, yeah. But yeah, that is the only time that he ever shows any thought of like, maybe I shouldn't tell people in the past all these things that happen in the future. And then the next scene just goes right to telling Victor Frankenstein the ending to the fucking novel. So meanwhile, the monster chases down Elizabeth, Frankenstein's fiance, kills her. Buchanan and Frankenstein find her, and then Frankenstein double crosses Buchanan. He gets mobbed and then gets taken hostage. He sees this weird little cult scene with the throuple. I don't know what the hell that was all about. It was another one of his little hallucinations. I didn't get it.
Yeah, it's very bizarre.
So he wakes up. Frankenstein is like, we're going to use your vehicle to power the experiment so I could raise Elizabeth up. So they're doing the Bride of Frankenstein thing.
Yeah, which, by the way, like, what was this plan? Like, so Frankenstein promised to, like, make the monster a mate, even though he vowed to destroy him, but he's like, oh, sorry, bro, I gotta keep my word to Buchanan or whatever, which, by the way, like, Victor's, like, logic and motivations are very inconsistent, I will say. But I'm like, were the monster, Frankenstein, and Elizabeth gonna be, like, a throuple too? Like, what was the plan here?
I don't think they thought that one through. Honestly, none of the scientists in this movie are very smart. But so they're like, all right, use the electricity from your vehicle and like power the experiment. So Buchanan finally gets the report from his vehicle of like, hey, we can't reverse the time loop. We could only like jump to another place in time. So he was like, all right, well, fire off a laser, whatever the fuck. Just a lot of like sciencey mumbo jumbo that probably not even accurate, but he does the experiment, and this is the part where we finally start to get a glimpse at like over the top Julia, like the one I was expecting throughout like the whole movie.
Oh yeah, there was a shades of course there.
Of course. But they do the experiment, Elizabeth raises up, and then like the big like purple rift in the sky opens up again, and like Victor's like, what have you done? And then like Buchanan's like, meet my monster.
Which is like, oh god damn it, like, boo, like, come on, man.
So they get zapped to another point in time, which I'm not sure if it's like even further in the future than where Buchanan came from.
Yeah, I think that's the implication, is that obviously when they start the movie, the reason why he's doing this is because they're having like some sort of like potentially life and death anomaly. I mean, I'm not sure if it's because of him or like his storms worse than the problem of the thing. That's not really explained, but I guess the implication here is that this is, since he wasn't there, because I guess we care about paradoxes now, no one was there to fix shit, so shit got bad, and then that's basically the last bastion of humanity.
I like to think that it's just a direct result of him not giving a fuck about space-time, but that one probably makes more sense. So they all get zapped to this like bleak, like Armageddon looking future, and like,
yeah, it's implied to be like the Arctic, that, because here's the thing, Frankenstein the book and like the Universal movie are like very, very different. But the original Frankenstein novel is that Frankenstein, Victor goes and chases the monster into the Arctic. So I guess that's what this is an homage to.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. So Elizabeth raises up. She's clearly like not in her right mind. Like she recognizes Victor, and then Victor is like, all right, come to me, leave him, like talking about the monster. Meanwhile, Buchanan is just sitting in the background, just watching all this, like,
yeah, he's just twiddling his fingers saying, I have to figure out how to get back to Mary.
So, long story short, I guess Elizabeth was just disgusted at what she's turned into. So she takes, I forget what those old guns were called.
Let's just call it a pistol.
Yeah. So Victor has a pistol. He points it at the monster to shoot him. Elizabeth grabs it, puts it against her chest, and gets herself shot. Monster gets pissed, kills Frankenstein, and runs off.
Which, by the way he kills Frankenstein, like, he just full up banes him. Like, I wasn't cheering for his death, but I was like, that was deserved. I'll give you that, monster. You earned that.
Yeah, you kind of earned that one. So after all that, Buchanan goes running around. He like monologues to himself about like how like there's no signs of life outside of the monster and like last vestiges of humanity or whatever. He goes to a lab that I guess was his own because the computer recognizes him. And this is where shit just got so much more confusing because like there's all these lasers around. Like they don't hurt him, but like we'll get to that. But
no, but straight up shit looks like Phantasmic at Disney World.
It looks like a rejected set from Doctor Who. So the monster ambushes him in there. They fight. The monster rips off his own arm, like
to literally bitch slap John Hurt. Like it's like, come here.
And then, God, the monster was like, "Who are you to kill me?"
Oh God!
Oh,
right.
this part made me roll my eyes so bad.
I know. You want to say it, and then we'll explain like how this shit makes no sense.
So first, after he like shoots the monster the first time, he's like, "What am I?" And Buchanan's like, "An abomination in the eyes of God." Which there's this other weird thread throughout the movie where they talk about God and like how scientists are like antithetical to God or like shouldn't believe in God or whatever. It's just another thing that's just goes nowhere. And then the monster is like, "Well, who are you?" And then with no hint of irony whatsoever, Buchanan just goes, "I am Frankenstein," and then shoots the monster again.
Which, god damn it. And like, here's the thing, and I was kind of talking about this with you while we were watching it. This line of dialogue makes absolutely no sense. Like, they kind of maybe attempt to set up, that there's like parallel between Victor and Buchanan, but not really, kind of. It's just like, I guess maybe if you squint your eyes hard enough.
The most you could say is that they're both scientists that did experiments that had dire consequences. But like what Victor did was he basically made life without a soul.
And violated corpses. Like, he's a grave robber. Like, dude is morally like reprehensible. Not only that, but a fucking criminal.
And like meanwhile, Buchanan is like, he just made a temporal anomaly that is just growing worse and worse. But it's like, I don't know if you could really compare the two.
Right, especially since Buchanan's trying to fix it.
Like, they try to do that with the meet my monster part, but like, I honestly feel like this would have worked better if instead of like a temporal anomaly, like Buchanan like made his own like artificial like machine monster thing. Like, I think the parallels would have been more blatant, but they would have made more sense. Because as is, it's just like, I am Frankenstein. Like, how? How?
Because he hasn't really done anything like evil enough to like warrant that. Like, nothing in his character is set up. He's just like, la-di-la-di-la. I'm gonna live my dreams. I'm meeting all these intellectuals. I'm fucking Mary Shelley. I might fuck Lord Byron too. Who knows? Who cares? Fuck time and space. Oh, I was supposed to fix shit? Who cares? Because, by the way, they never resolved that 96-hour thing with, like, the car.
Wait. Sorry, what was that?
The car is supposed to calculate, like, shit from, like, 96 hours? I don't think they ever resolved that.
I'm trying to think, because wasn't that like when the car was like, well, there is no way to actually reverse it, but like had 96 hours passed by then? Because that would have been like 4 days. So did 4 days pass between when he got there and when all that stuff with the experiment happened? I don't think it did.
No, because let's see. He went to the pub. That was day one. The trial was like day two.
2.
Okay, maybe it was like bordering on 4 days, but it cuts back and forth because we spend so much time with the Mary Shelley bullcrap that we kind of forget about that. And it's like, oh yeah, I was supposed to do that, wasn't I?
Yeah, well, the way the 96 hours thing is resolved is that it took the car 96 hours to come up with the answer of, I don't really know. And then just gave another one of like, well, if you use this like temporal laser thing, but we're getting off track.
I straight up love how the car is just chat GPT. Like I said, sorry, bro. And by the way, Blueberry has 3 B's in it.
Oh, god damn it. I will say I like that the car kind of had like a little sass to her. Like when Buchanan first travels back in time, he's like, Jesus H. Christ. And then the car is just like, there is no historical record of Jesus ever having a middle initial. That was cute. I'll admit that was cute.
Yeah, like honestly, low key, I kind of wish we had more of the car as a character.
Yeah, I think that would have been. If you wanted to go with the angle of like he created something like abominable, you could have played that up with like the car.
Yeah, like just make the car like goddamn Christine. Like just play into that.
Or like make it like HAL 9000 or whatever. Just play around with that. But back to our fairy tale. Buchanan thinks he's killed the monster. Obviously, he hasn't. And monster gets back up. They fight some more. Buchanan does this. I do not get how these freaking lasers work. It looks more like a light show than like actual lasers. Like when I think of lasers, I think of like hard light, like beams cutting through people. What happens here is like he does like his little clap your hands bullshit, and these lights start going off, and like the monster rolls up, and then like,
which by the way, with the clapping, I kept expecting like the cha-cha slide to play like to the left. Take it back now, y'all.
Crisscross.
And then the laser shoots the monster and sings to the music.
Slide to the left. Slide to the right. Jesus fuck.
The amount of times my old job at, the Sesame themed theme park, which by the way, that's a story for another day. So that song just permanently altered my brain chemistry.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, so the little rave light show hits the monster and like fries him. And like the monster is like, you think you could kill me or whatever bullshit. I don't even fucking care.
Like it's a slow, crispy either. It's not like an Anakin Skywalker. Oh, this guy is like on fire. It's like, oh, this guy's just like mildly crispy.
Yeah, and then after like about a minute of that, he just falls over and dies.
Which, by the way, it was so anticlimactic. Like, I wasn't expecting like anything batshit insane for like the third act, but it kind of felt like they were building to something. And then it was like, not really.
And then we get the final bit of confusion. So Buchanan walks out of the laboratory. He looks out to like a city or whatever. And then you just hear like the monster's voice being like, I cannot be killed. I am now unbound.
Title drop credits. And it's like, okay. What did that even mean? Like, it wasn't like a, what the fuck, I'm gonna throw shit in the wall. I'm quite literally asking, what did you mean by that?
Like, was Buchanan imagining it? Did the monster become a god? Was the monster actually alive after all? Like, it's not explained.
You think you have killed me,
what the fuck?
but I am with you forever. I am unbound.
Wait, did he become like the sky monster? What the flying fuck? Just, huh? I'm so confused right now.
Oh, that's the end.
I'm so confused. So, did he become... So, did the monster just become God? What the fuck was that? No, I mean, I guess the implication is that, and I think I said this earlier, is that that devil character is supposed to be the monster because I'm pretty sure they share the same voice, but they don't really build up to this plot point at all, which further adds credence that this movie originally was probably like 2.5 hours long, and City is like, nope, gotta cut that shit down, to like 85, 95 minutes because we want to get as many show times in to try to make our money back. Haha, joke's on you.
Yeah, like, it feels like there's just some stuff that is just flat out missing in this movie. Oh, and by the way, for as important as Mary Shelley was for like the first 2/3 of this movie, she after Buchanan shags her, she never shows up again.
Oh yeah, no, she gone.
So we spend like the middle part of this movie just forgetting all about trying to get back to the future and just going on this little like escapade with an 18-year-old girl. I just
Yeah, like straight up, it's a fanfic isekai. Like, what would the longest title of this be? Like, I'm genuinely curious.
You're gonna have to give me a minute. Like, I'm just trying to.
I guess mine would be, oh no, I got spark, spark, boom, boom to another world. And now I met my favorite author who I think is in love with me or some bullshit like that.
Oh no, it's like I got transported to another world. Now I'm in a 4-way with the Frankenstein author?
God damn it.
Question mark, exclamation point.
For all the ways I thought this movie would go, this is not what I anticipated. Again, I can't get over, I was kind of half joking that there was a throuple situation gonna happen with the inkling in the back of my mind saying, this is Corman. There's a distinct possibility that this could happen. But then to see my suspicions confirmed, I was like, fuck yeah.
Free love, baby.
Free loving in the 18th century. Be careful not to get syphilis, because I'm sure that shit's running rampant because condoms, they are a thing, but good condoms, you're gonna have to wait till plastic is born. Plastic is born, guys. Reborn, rebounds. That is my mind. My mind has become unbound.
Jesus wept.
Jesus H. Christ wept.
Historically, there are no records that Jesus had a middle initial.
The H stands for horny.
Man, but yeah, Roger, you served us up another beautiful dish.
It's just truly, it was a 5-star meal in front of a dumpster. But in all seriousness, this movie was fun. I didn't hate it. I feel like there's a lot to like about it. I wasn't mad, but it was just that's kind of weird.
Yeah, production-wise, everything is fine. And the actors speak for themselves. It's John Hurt and Raul Julia. You know what you're getting. Honestly, I think the fact that they got so many accomplished actors for this is what keeps this from being a complete train wreck. Because if it was just a bunch of amateurs in the roles, this probably would have been.
Oh yeah, for sure. This would have been a 10-alarm fire.
This would have been an even bigger disaster.
Even Bridget Fonda, I thought, considering that she was given literally nothing to work with, I really liked her Mary Shelley. Like, I wanted to actually kind of see more of her.
Yeah, bit of a shame she really just doesn't have any agency outside of Buchanan just giving her the googly eyes. But where this movie really, really, really unravels is the narrative. It's confusing at points. It is antithetical to every single time travel story that's ever been invented. And there's just stuff that goes nowhere, stuff that just comes out of nowhere. And like again, the fact that the bulk of this is just spent on a weird fanficky romance plot with a real life author. It's just so bizarre. I would be interested to see like how close or like how different this was from the actual book. Because remember, this was based off a book.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious too. Like, this almost makes me want to kind of check out the book because I like the premise of this is actually quite interesting. And like, the execution honestly isn't horrible. It feels undercooked.
Yeah. If there was like an extra like 20, 30 minutes to this movie, maybe we could get some more things explained, or we could just spend that runtime on, I don't know, Shelley and Buchanan like frolicking through the flowers or whatever. Just,
Judging Roger, we probably would have gotten the full polycule experience.
yeah, probably. But yeah, this movie was, for the most part, fun bad. But like all the like weird narrative problems, it gets a little much at times.
Yeah, I mean, even still, like, I don't think I was like mad at this point. I was just more like amused about some of the choices. So, I mean, overall, I would honestly recommend this. Like, it's not like bad in a Troll 2's way, and it's not a complete train wreck either. It's just kind of an interesting mess.
Yeah. Yeah, it's more of a weird, like, well, that doesn't make sense. And yeah,
Like, honestly, it feels like what if a movie was just the first draft? That's what it feels like to me.
yeah, for sure. For sure. Like, I feel like somebody from a distant future, like a scientist from the distant future, going back in time and like seeing all the characters in Frankenstein, like maybe trying to learn from the mistakes of the past so he could save the future or something like that. I think there is a good idea in there. I just feel like this movie focused on the wrong things.
Yeah. Like this movie has like a focus problem. Like I don't think any of the ideas, like even like the weird romance stuff, like I don't think any of them are like, "Oh my god, this is bad. Like why would you come up with this idea? Like you're an idiot." It's just like, okay, the parts that we should be focusing on get kind of pushed to the background, and this movie just kind of seems like meandering at times, like it's not quite sure what it wants to be. And it's kind of confusing.
Yeah, because like we had this movie paused when there was like 38 minutes left. And I mentioned the fact that up to that point, the monster had only really appeared in like two scenes that weren't even like 5 minutes long total in this movie about Frankenstein.
Right. And like one of those scenes with an admittedly very cool kill shot.
Yeah, but if you have a movie called Frankenstein, you're gonna want to see the monster a bit more. But like it wasn't really until like the last half hour where the monster actually felt like an important part of the plot. Like for most of it, he just felt like window dressing.
Which is a shame because I think, yeah, the guy who actually played the monster honestly kind of did a good job. Like, this was a pretty book accurate Frankenstein's monster. Like, he was like well spoken, maybe not the highest level genius like he is in the book. I mean, he's kind of maybe like a little oathy, like the classic Universal design, but like, I feel like in a 90s Frankenstein movie, that was probably as accurate of a depiction of the monster that you were gonna get.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, the actors do a good job. It's just the script itself is just so muddled and confusing and distracted. Like,
Yeah, that's the right word, distracted, because honestly, like, the dialogue, fine. The scene setups, honestly is kind of fine. Like, it's nothing, like, too weird or out of the ordinary. It just is completely unfocused.
yeah, Yeah, it's like it tries to be this sci-fi epic, but then the middle part is just this weird fanficky romance thing before it finally remembers, oh wait, we're trying to be sci-fi, and then just goes back to that. Like, with just a little bit more focus, this probably would have been a lot better.
Yeah, which is kind of a shame, like, because honestly, like, overall, I don't think this is, like, that bad of a movie. I feel like it has more redeeming qualities than bad qualities.
Yeah, definitely. I would say among the 3 Corman movies that we've seen so far, I mean, Sharktopus is obviously the worst one. That one was like 0 fucks given. But this and Fantastic Four, you could tell that there was care put into it. And yeah, I mean, I would still say I kind of had more fun with Fantastic Four because that one, the narrative wasn't nearly as confusing as this one was.
Yeah, like, that was a more straightforward Fantastic Four film, which, by the way, spoilers for Fantastic Four. You texted me the other day, I hope the jeweler wins. And then, not even 5 minutes into the movie, the fucking mole man appears. And I was like, oh my god. And not only does he appear, he's like a major part of the 3rd act of the movie. So, God, I had to mention that.
Beautiful.
Just like this movie. Beautiful. Unbound. But anyway, I think we're about done with this experiment. So, Gio, where can everyone find you?
Well, if you desire to enter my laboratory, you could find me at evking13.bsky.social. Something experiment. I don't fucking know.
Guess what? I don't fucking know anything either. But one thing I do know is you can follow me on Blue Sky at crazylemur.bsky.social. I am also on Instagram at lemurs1. You will see doggo content occasionally on both those things, along with my usual ramblings and just unhinged nature. So, you know what? I think this does it for our inaugural official episode of Roger Corman's Neighborhood here on Le Crap. We'll see you next time with another nummy dish.
Woo.
It's alive!
It's
Goddamn.
alive? Of course!
Dude, what the shit?
This girl is probably going to be put to death, and you're like, yeah, this would be a good idea for a book, huh? Is he really trying to make a move on Mary Shelley in the middle of a murder trial? Dude does not have his priorities.
I mean, hey, different strokes for different folks.